Matthew 7 to 11. Within the Sermon on the Mount, these words follow the teaching concerning judgment and discernment among the people of Israel. The audience standing before Jesus was a covenant nation living at the close of an age. The law and the prophets had long testified that a time of fulfillment would come when God would act decisively for his people. Into that setting, Jesus declared, "Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks it will be opened." These statements describe the certainty of divine response within the unfolding kingdom proclamation. The verbs ask, seek, and knock portray persistence and expectancy directed toward God. Israel had long sought the promises spoken through the prophets: restoration, righteousness, and the arrival of God's reign. Jesus announces that the time of fulfillment had drawn near. Those who turned toward God in expectation of his kingdom would not be disappointed, because the Father himself was bringing to completion what had been promised. The repetition intensifies the certainty. Asking results in receiving, seeking results in finding, and knocking results in the door being opened. The language reflects the nearness of the kingdom being proclaimed throughout the land. What generations had long awaited was now at hand. The invitation was not uncertain speculation, but confident assurance that God was acting in that very generation. Jesus then illustrates the character of God with a comparison drawn from ordinary family life. Or which one of you, if his son asks him for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a serpent? Bread and fish were staple foods in Galilee, familiar elements of daily provision. The contrast between bread and stone, fish and serpent, emphasizes the absurdity of a loving father giving something harmful when a child asks for nourishment. The example assumes the natural instinct of parental care. Even among imperfect human fathers, there exists a desire to provide what is beneficial for their children. Jesus continues, "If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him?" Here the contrast reaches its climax. Humanity, though flawed and marked by sin, still understands the impulse to give good gifts. If that is true of earthly fathers, the generosity of the Heavenly Father surpasses it infinitely. God's giving is not reluctant or begrudging. It flows from his own nature. In the broader setting of Jesus' ministry, the good things promised from the Father are tied to the blessings associated with the arrival of the kingdom: righteousness, restoration, and the life of the age to come. The Father was not withholding these blessings, but bringing them openly through his Son. What Israel had awaited through centuries of promise was now being revealed. The Sermon on the Mount therefore presents God not as distant or inaccessible, but as a Father whose generosity exceeds human expectation. The assurance rests not upon human merit or achievement, but upon the character of the one who gives. The invitation to ask, seek, and knock reveals that the blessings of God's reign were being opened to those who look to him in faith. Thus, the passage portrays the certainty of divine generosity within the unfolding fulfillment of God's promises. The Father gives what is good because giving is consistent with his nature, and the kingdom proclaimed by Jesus reveals that the long-awaited gifts of God were now being brought near to his people.